Hi, everybody. Al Albert along with the champ, Sean O'Grady. And tonight is the night of the young junior middleweights. Yes, indeed. 2 title fights that will feature 3 of the top 6 junior middleweights in the world. It was supposed to be 4 of the top 6. 4th-ranked Darren Morris, originally scheduled, injured his rib in sparring Thursday. So, Sean, in the main event for the USBA title, it will be Raul Marquez. And he will face now the brawling Skipper Kelp, still a dangerous opponent for the undefeated Marquez.
Really a dangerous opponent for Marquez because Skipper Kelp comes into this fight, last-minute notice change, and he's a winger. He's got good power in both hands, and he swings his punches wildly. Also, the 2 are good friends. Some of the best fights I've seen, Al, have been between best friends. One friend will not let the other outdo him. So tonight I expect a very interesting matchup. Both fighters say once the bell rings, the friendship is out the window.
Is there a friend that you would like to fight? Me too. All right, also tonight, the NABF Junior Middleweight Championship. Classic boxer in Ronald Winky Wright against the puncher in Andrew Council.
Yeah, really a dangerous fight for Ronald Wright. He is the #1 contender in line for a world championship fight. And Council, his career faltered a little bit when he challenged for the USBA title, but since it has been rejuvenated because he came up with a big major win over none other than James Buddy McGirt. So I expect to see a very competitive matchup.
All right, also tonight, a former junior middleweight world champion will be in the ring. We are in Norfolk, Virginia. That is the hometown of Pernell Whitaker. And tonight in an exhibition match for charity, and we will take a peek at that and be joined at ringside by Pernell Whitaker, and he has always had some colorful comments, and he also considers you a very good friend.
No.
Winky Wright is quick, elusive, and a southpaw, a nightmare to fight. Just 24, he's already had 34 fights, winning 33 and ranked #1 in the world. Winky has the right stuff to become a champion. Andrew Council burst into the top 10 in September when he took on and took out former 2-time world champ Buddy McGirt, sending McGirt into retirement. Wright makes his 2nd NABF title defense. They have studied each other very closely, understanding a world title shot for either fighter could be just 1 win away.
Well, he's very tough. You know, he comes straight forward, you know, throwing his right hand hooks. You gotta box him, you gotta use your jab. You know, you gotta, when he miss, you gotta make him pay. You gotta hit him with some good power, show him some power.
Just put a lot of pressure on him. That's the way you have to fight a southpaw. You can't sit back and fight a southpaw, because when you sit back and fight a southpaw, they'll pick you apart. So you have to put a lot of pressure on them and make them fight when they don't want to fight.
Well, Ronald Wright is the southpaw. He is a very difficult fighter to face. The southpaw fighters come at you backwards. Andrew Council's got to figure that out tonight. He's been able to do it in the past because he holds 6 wins over southpaw fighters.
And let's take a look at the tail of the tape, sizing up these 2 junior middleweights, brought to you by Castrol. Right at the junior middleweight limit, both fighters, but keep in mind, Council in 4 of his last 5 fights has fought over 160 pounds as a middleweight. A matter of fact, there is talk if he wins this fight tonight, might get a shot at a championship, not at the world junior middleweight crown, but at Lonnie Bradley's WBO middleweight crown. So Andrew Council is the bigger of the 2 generally in the ring, although Winky Wright is the #1 junior middleweight in the world by the WBA. This is the NABF championship fight. Standing 8 count is not in effect. 3 knockdown rule is. You can be saved by the bell only in the final round. Scoring 10-point must scoring system. We're ready for the introductions. Let's go into the ring. And here is Bruce Rader.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hampton Roads, Virginia and Norfolk Scope, where Main Events and USA Network asks, are you ready for Tuesday night fights? This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds. In the junior middleweight division, your referee from Virginia Beach, Virginia, Mr. Al Rothenberg. The judges scoring this bout are Jim Traylor, Oscar Bryan, and Aníbal Metamontes. Introducing the principals. First, in the red corner, wearing the red, white, and blue trunks, weighing in at 154 pounds, with a professional record of 25 wins, 3 defeats, 3 draws, with 17 knockouts, from Lanham, Maryland. He is the number 6th ranked junior middleweight in the world, Andrew Council. His opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the silver-red trunks, weighing in at 154 pounds, with a professional record of 33 wins, 1 defeat with 21 knockouts, from St. Petersburg, Florida. Here is the number 1 world contender and NABF champion, Ronald Winky Wright.
I'm just going to remind you what I said. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey all my commands promptly. Touch gloves now. Ready for the bell. Thank you.
Winky Wright, ranked number 1. He is the guy taking the risk that others might not do at this time in a career. Others may just keep tuned, waiting for that title fight, but Winky Wright has the confidence, not afraid that to be a champion, you have to win these kinds of fights and define yourself, and that's what he's doing tonight against Andrew Council. Winky likes to get into the rhythm very quickly, especially with that terrific jab, the southpaw, against Council. Council has had the reputation of starting slowly, likes to warm up as the rounds go on. He's a better fighter from the 6th to the 12th than he is from the 1st to the 6th. Great defensive fighter, gets those hands right in front of his face. He sees everything coming at him, but his people want him to get started quicker here tonight. They don't want to allow Winky Wright to put some rounds in the bank and fight his fight in the late stages.
Winky Wright has seen Andrew Council against Keith Holmes. He says he's a pressure fighter. He sets his punches and he's a good worker. Fight plan for Winky or Ronald Wright. Catching him coming in, and don't go out there looking for the KO. He says, I want to be patient, especially in these early rounds like you talked about, Al. He loves it when opponents advance. Andrew Council, his style, boxer puncher. His best punch is the left hook. He has seen Ronald Wright against Julio Cesar Vasquez, Tony Marshall, young Dick Tiger.
Council, fine counter puncher right now. Wright not giving him anything to counter. Not many punches thrown the first half of the first round.
No, and this is going to benefit Wright. What Ronald wants to do is keep Council out there so that Council sees that southpaw stance. Control that jab from the outside. Something that Ronald Wright does well. He also does something else that is a great move for southpaw fighters. It is an easier move for them to move to their right that is behind the left-hander. The left-hander has to the right-hander has to constantly reset that back foot to throw a hard right hand.
Well, Council said that the best way to beat a southpaw is you have to smother him with punches, stay right on top of him, and until that moment really hasn't been able to get in close on Wright, who continues to get out that jab. There's a thrust by Council.
Council says he also wants to move to the left and use the jab on the outside. A difficult maneuver against those left-handers because their right hand is in the way of your left jab. A studious first round. Both fighters trying to figure out what the other man is going to do, laying their battle plan.
cabs, low fares all over Dublin.
The Scope is the scene, Norfolk, Virginia. Al Albert and the champ, Sean O'Grady, ringside for the first of 2 title fights. This for the NABF junior middleweight crown. In the silver trunks on the right is the NABF champion, Winky Wright, who is also ranked #1 in the world by the WBA, #2 by the WBC. He's making his 2nd NABF title defense. Andrew Council in the red, white, and blue from Lanham, Maryland, outside the D.C. area. What else would you expect from a native of Washington, D.C., coming in with the red, white, and blue? Council, 25-3-3 is his record.
And Council has more like Winky things on his trunks. I think Wright should get some of those Winkies.
Well, that's one of the lessons he may learn from tonight. You're always picking up something in the ring.
You got to have those Winkies on your silver trunks. I think it's a good color for Winky to have. But he needs those little speckledy things all over him.
He's 33-1. His lone defeat in a world championship try in August of '94, lost a 12-rounder to Julio Cesar Vasquez for the WBA title.
A fight that many thought he won, including him. So that Vasquez was fighting dirty, hitting him behind the head. So he knocked him down. They called it a slip. I slipped, and they called it a knockdown. That fight in Spain, Julio Cesar Vasquez.
Winky Wright from St. Petersburg.
We're going to be doing that all night. Winky Wright.
Well, he just going Winky Dink. His first 16 fights were in Florida, but 16 of his last 18 he fought outside the U.S., mostly in France. He is signed up with a French promoter. But now he says he's going to come back to the U.S. Time to get the exposure here. Time to go World Championship.
He started boxing at 16. He always wanted to box. There was a gym around the corner from where he lived in St. Petersburg, Florida. He entered the tournament 2 weeks later and won. And it all started building from there.
He's only 24. Turned pro at the age of 18. Tonight already his 35th professional fight.
65-4 as an amateur.
Terrific amateur, national PAL champion. Olympic Festival champ in 1990, which included a win against Stevie Johnston. 15 seconds to go in round #2, and this yet to warm up. It's scheduled for 12.
Still a plodding round. Andrew Council trying to keep the pressure on, make Wright work.
And he tags.
The end.
Wright comes back with a combo. Well, it heated up early at the end of the 2nd round.
Yeah, just as the final 10 seconds counted off, the two had words at the end of the round. Some of the trainers got in the ring. In fact, that trainer right there went down the canvas. He didn't jump quite high enough to get over the top rope.
Well, we thought it'd take maybe 5-6 rounds to start getting warmed up. But there at the end of the 2nd, both fighters picking up the pace. Andrew Council has had trouble in his career with southpaws. 2 of his 3 losses against lefties, and one disputed win was against a southpaw. And now he is facing his highest caliber southpaw in Wright.
Good combination on the body. Council's got to keep the pressure on, and he's got to work that body. This is a 12-round fight.
Wright is prepared for an Andrew Council to come straight forward, throwing right hooks.
See how their front feet of the two fighters are close together? They're right there. Council step on Wright's toe. All night they're going to be stepping on one another's feet. Now, if you can get your foot on your opponent's foot and hit him, sometimes you can steal a knockdown from him. Or you can at least get him off balance.
Andrew Council's career was moving along in unspectacular fashion. And he fought to a 10-round draw against Tony Marshall and looked pretty good in that. Marshall, respected fighter. And then in September, when he knocked down Buddy McGirt in the 5th round, then in the 7th, and stopped him in the 9th. And that thrust Council into the top 10, now at number 6 by both the IBC and the IBF and the WBC.
Yeah, he said that Buddy McGirt fight told him that he needed to win by knockouts. Now he tries to go into fights looking for the knockout and setting an attack to end in a knockout. Trying to punch harder, put his weight behind his punches. He also started boxing at the age of 16 in 1984. My buddies were boxing, and I loved the one-on-one discipline of boxing. 35-5 as an amateur. Andrew Council really pouring on this round, making Ronald Wright fight.
And Andrew Council, as soon as he saw Wright's head look at the official, shift his eyes towards the official, Council try to take advantage. Wright did not like a low blow.
Oh, this is going to happen all night. Watch this. The two men coming together. Ronald Wright underneath the foot of Andrew Council. I think Council even winked at him there.
4th round action, scheduled 12-rounder. Junior middleweights, NABF title, the champion in the silver, Winky Wright.
You know, there's a theory in boxing, when you fight a southpaw, you take and keep your left foot outside his front foot. That way you won't step on his foot. Now really heating it up. This is what Andrew Council must do. What is this? Keep it 1 point.
A low blow. That's what Wright was complaining about at the end of the 3rd round. And referee Al Rothenberg, hearing his plea, and quickly takes the point away from an onrushing Andrew Council. Council has decided it's time to pick it up. Started the same way against Buddy McGirt. Slow start the first 4 rounds, very defensive. Then he put McGirt on the canvas in the 5th.
Yeah, these fans don't like that here because they are mostly for Andrew Council. But that's what Andrew Council needs to do. And he needs to make sure and go downstairs to the body, keep the pressure on. These early rounds are very important.
Both these fighters born in Washington, D.C. Wright, though, grew up in St. Petersburg. Council still living in the D.C. area. Nothing, says Winky Wright. And it's the USBA share of the junior middleweight title coming up next. Raul Marquez, Skipper Kelp. A very interesting matchup of 2 friends who roomed together on the U.S. national team about 5 years ago, and here they are as pros meeting the biggest fight at this point in both careers.
Oh yeah, and they both said, hey, if you can't beat up your best friend, who can you beat up? Oh, that's it.
We'll find out. They both promised to be best friends again after the fight.
After it's over. That's right.
Well, no love lost here developing between these 2 fighters.
Not at all, but you see more movement now from Ronald Wright. Council, a nice right hand. Ronald Wright describes his style as just box and throw my punches, and he's throwing punches and he's boxing here. He's a southpaw. His best punch is the right hook because he's naturally right-handed. More confusing. Most of the southpaws have the power in that left. Pouring on. This is what he needs to do. Andrew Council following the battle plan.
And it seems to rev up Wright.
$8.20 cabs. Low fares all over Dublin.
Well, it cost him a point in that 4th round. Downstairs to the body and way too low goes Andrew Council. Rothenberg right on top of that. Saw it and took a point.
Andrew Council taking a couple of rounds to get into the rhythm of things and really pressing the issue in rounds 3 and 4. Now that has Winky Wright on his toes a little more. Kind of a wake-up call for Wright.
These nice feints. Not a punch is being thrown. Both of them keeping their opponent at bay with the feint.
Oh, good body shot by Wright.
And a good smile from him. Confident smile.
Council standing there taking those shots by the NABF champ.
Bad place for Council. That right hook is where Wright has most of his power. And the punch, a lot of those going back around behind the head. If you can throw a quick jab in between those hooks, you'll score. You beat that wide swinging hook. Both men kind of settled back now. Admiring that work from the 3rd to 4th round.
Short, snappy right by Council. Most of this 5th round has been a chess match. Looks more than like a first round of a fight. And again, Council catches Wright, this time with a left. And the right. Council patiently looking to find his shots.
Something else he has learned in his career is that patience. 25 3-3, 17 KOs.
And 2 of his 3 losses came very early in his career. Within the first 7 fights since that time, he has lost just 1 of his last 24 fights. That's coming awfully close. 10 seconds to go in round number 5.
Landing this round, both fighters picking their shots.
USA's Tuesday night fights at the Scope in Norfolk, Virginia. Crowd on hand earlier tonight. They saw their hometown hero, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, in an exhibition for charity. Time permitting, we'll get a peek at that and also chat with the Sweet Pea. Sixth round action of this NABF junior middleweight title fight. Winky Wright in the gray. He is the champion at 33-1 with 21 knockouts. Andrew Council in the red, white, and blue. The challenger at 25-3-3. And outside the corner of Andrew Council, another one of his DC soulmates. Former lightweight contender, now fighting as a junior welterweight, Shambe Mitchell, who just cannot sit down for this fight. And helping out Council with some advice. He's counseling Council.
Yeah. NABF #3 contender in the world. Doing a good job on that gum, too. My gosh, he's getting his money's worth out of that gum.
And he is so cool and collected in the ring, but
in the corner,
losing it here. Right?
It's so hard to work the corner. I tell you, it is hard to work the corner. When you get in the ring, you get to use your energy. You get that energy out of you. When you're in the corner, you don't. That's why you see a lot of cornermen sometimes thinking it's audience participation, but it's not.
Sean Bay Mitchell urging his friend Andrew Council to cut the ring off.
Right, and do this right here. Crowd inside. You got to make Wright work. For Wright, he has to keep that jab pumping and keep that movement. He may have hurt his elbow. There you see him swipe the elbow out. Swipe around with that left hand. Good movement from him. You see him moving to his right, circling around behind Council. And as a right-handed fighter, you need to cut the ring off that way. That's what they're telling Andrew Council. To do that, you step over.
Part of Wright's fight plan coming in, we got to use the jab, and that when Council misses him, that he has to make Council pay. And he felt that early he had to hit Council with power to show him the power. And that's something he really hasn't done in the first 6 rounds. Inside 10 seconds to go in the 6th.
Hold it, hold it, hold it.
Well, half of the scheduled fight is in the books. There is the champion of the NABF junior middleweight division, Winky Wright, in the gray trunks. He has been pressured as anticipated by Andrew Council. Champ, how did you see the first 6 rounds?
Well, I thought the first round, Winky came out and did exactly what he was supposed to do. Since then, I think Andrew Council has really forced the fight. And I have Council ahead, 4-1 with 1 round even.
And that's exactly what his people were telling him, Andrew Council. Start quickly. Don't allow Winky Wright to put rounds in the bank. And according to Sean O'Grady, that's what Andrew Council has done.
That's a scary thought for Andrew Council.
Right,
yeah.
That's right. I just wanted to say, remember, that's what Sean O'Grady says.
Exactly. And remember, we all want to fight our friends.
Or have your friends score the fight. That'd even be better.
Well, what Wright needs to do is throw more punches. He is being out-hustled by Council, who's putting the pressure on and following his fight plan. Wright has to score and move. He knows that Council is going to be right there. He knows Andrew's going to try to come on the inside and make him fight. And I think Andrew is sticking to his fight plan.
Council appears to be exhibiting the confidence in the ring.
And he is upset about, he thinks that Council is using dirty tactics. He keeps looking over to Al Rothenberg for help. There it is again. You can't rely on the referee. You got to punch back. He's got to be busy. Look at who's punching in here. No retaliation from Wright. Again, Council is the one punching. Wright is the one holding. Your arms are free. See Rothenberg telling him your arms are free. What are you barking at me for?
So Wright getting frustrated here.
Yeah. And that's just what Andrew Council wanted to do. I think Wright would be well served if we would start using some uppercuts. Andrew is walking right straight in, asking for those uppercuts.
And remember, Council comes on later in the fight.
And later in the rounds.
I'm trying to knock the man out and go for speed. I'm trying to knock the man out.
Give him a towel, right? You give him a towel. Small corner, you have to go to work now, okay? Okay, baby? Come on. Deep breath. Give me a deep breath. You gotta go back, man. You beat me with the jab, man. Step it up. Keep yourself in it. Step in and get on it first. Get on first. Don't play your safe. That round was too close. Yeah. Let him rush you. Okay, good. Stay down. Stay down.
The champion having this fight taken to him by the challenger over the first 7 rounds. We move into round number 8. Winky Wright with just 1 defeat in his 34 fights. He's ranked number 1 in the world by the WBA, number 2 by the WBC. Just sitting on the threshold of a world championship fight, and instead of fighting a tune-up like many top contenders may do and not risk dropping from the higher elevation and blowing a world championship fight, Winky Wright instead electing to fight a tough customer, the 6th ranked junior middleweight in the world, Andrew Council. And right now on our cards, the champion looks to be behind against the challenger. So we have now dispatched the champ into the champion, Winky Wright's corner, to find out how they have seen the first 7 rounds. Sean?
Dan Birmingham, rather slow start for Winky. How do you see the first 7 rounds?
I think he won at least 6 out of 7 so far. Yeah. I see a shutout myself.
You think you're way ahead?
Oh yeah.
Any reason for spurring your fighter on now, trying to change styles, change tactics?
No, we want him to change anything. We just want him to keep the jab working and a good strong left hand, dig the body when he can, and keep turning him, trying to keep him off balance, and then beating him back to the jab.
I am seeing more movement this round and the last round than the previous rounds. Why?
Well, Council's trying to come on now. He knows he's behind, so he's coming forth trying to take chances, and we're trying to capitalize.
Will that benefit you? Ronald told me he likes it when fighters advance.
Oh yes, because he's going to run into everything, especially the jab.
How about a fight of this nature? Do you think you can get a decision here?
Yes, I think so. We're the champion. He's got to beat us. He's got to take our belt.
All right. So really no sense of urgency on your part, right, Dan?
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right, Dan. Okay. Al, back over to you. They feel their way ahead. There's no reason to really press.
All right, Sean. And now will the champ inform Dan Birmingham that he sees it completely opposite? Sean O'Grady seeing Winky Wright in trouble over the first 7 rounds, but the corner there sees it completely the opposite way. And knowing the track record of the champ, no doubt Winky has taken 6 of the first 7 rounds.
Well, perhaps he knows better than I. It is hard. It is difficult to sit in a corner and have an unbiased eye. But I have seen a very competitive fight from Council. I think Council put the pressure on. I think Wright's behind.
Mellow, you got to throw punches, okay? Breathe. Come on, don't shoot.
Two title fights tonight on USA's Tuesday Night Fights. Coming up in the main event, the USBA Junior Middleweight Championship. Raul Marquez, undefeated in 22. And one of his best friends, Skipper Kelp, on short notice stepping in to try to pound it out with his former U.S. national roommate. And that's coming up in the main event. Right now, it is the NABF Junior Middleweight Championship. 8 rounds down, the champ on the left, Winky Wright, and Andrew Council now shifting to the left side. The challenger, the 29-year-old Council, 125 against 3 defeats, 3 draws. Winky Wright now on his toes. 33-1 is his record, and his corner feels that he is way ahead after 8 rounds. And right now you are starting to see more of what we're accustomed to seeing in Winky Wright, on his toes, moving, showing a little more confidence, talking to Council after taking that shot. And the champ now is hustled into the corner of Andrew Council. Sean?
And talking to Adrian Davis. Adrian, and there is a knockdown.
No.
Ronald Wright, but it's going to be scored as a slip. Adrian, you see a different style in Andrew now than earlier in this fight. Why?
I don't know. Late start, I guess. It should have been.
How do you see this fight through 8 rounds?
Close.
How close? Do you think Andrew is ahead?
I don't know. There was a punt taken away. Unnecessary punt.
Is there any kind of urgency from you? You have to get this fight? Adrian, obviously in thought, I know. Is there any kind of sense of urgency from you? Okay, a sense of concentration, I know, from Adrian Davis. I know you're focused. That's what you want from a corner man. But I think Adrian Davis likes what he sees. Al?
All right, champ, inside the final minute of round number 9, and it appears as if Winky Wright is coming on here in the 9th, and that's why Adrian Davis had very little to say, seeing a different fighter in Andrew Council here in round number 9. And right now it's Wright playing with Council. The confidence has really shifted in the ring.
Sure, but remember the confidence in the corner of Winky Wright. They think Winky is way ahead in this fight. He's got rounds to spare. But I don't think so. That's why they're giving away these rounds.
Andrew Council may be running out of gas. He was slumped in the corner. Hearing it from his cornerman, we finally heard Adrian Davis saying something. He didn't want to talk to Sean. He wanted to talk to his fighter, and urging him on, saying this is it. This is for a world. This will move you into a world title picture.
Davis has always been a trainer of very few words, but I think that was kind of ridiculous. That just shows you the concentration of a corner, a good corner man. He's not there to do anything but to concentrate on his fight.
You know what spurred Winky Wright on?
Me going to the corner.
No. He heard that you had Andrew Council ahead after 6 rounds. He said he knew he has to be in front. He says, now I'm confident. I have all these rounds in my pocket, said Winky Wright. Round number 10, a minute gone by, but right now, Winky Wright looks like the champion against the challenger, Andrew Council. And it was supposed to be the other way around. Council coming on in the late rounds.
Another slip. Some water over there in the corner.
I got it, hold it, I got it.
Winky Wright might do better if he had skates on. Boy, a lot of pressure. Look at just walking in to keep that pressure on. Andrew Council downstairs to the body.
Urging Council to put some combinations together. From his corner, the yelling, more than one punch. The impressive record of these two world-class junior middleweights. Inside the final middle of the 10th, scheduled for 12.
Oh, good combination and good movement And Wright still looking to the referee. I think because of this tactic of Council moving in with his hands up, just walking in. Marlon Wright does not like that. Wright clawing with that jab, trying to keep Council out at bay. Council gets on the inside and scores.
Best burst of the round for Council.
Yeah, and again, at the end of the round, Council is trying to steal every one of these rounds by scoring at the bell.
Nice work. Nice work. Don't lay in there and do nothing. Breathe. We got 2 more rounds. Let's get both of these so we don't have no question, okay?
David side.
We move into the 11th round of the NABF Junior Middleweight Championship. Al Albert and the champ, Sean O'Grady, at the scope in Norfolk, Virginia. Winky Wright in the silver trunks. Right now looking for his spots. Andrew Council has lost a lot of steam that we had seen in the middle rounds.
Oh, 2 banged heads again. That is what Wright is upset about. He doesn't like that. The headbutts. The reason is Council keeps his chin down nice and low, tucks that chin. When he moves in, right there, again, they bang heads. Boy, you're right. Andrew Council has really wilted the last couple of rounds.
One thing about Winky Wright, though, known for punishing jab and accurate combinations. There's the jab coming out, but we have not seen a plethora of combinations in this fight tonight.
No, but some real good movement by him. Good foot movement, and look how he's done a good job of keeping just at the perfect distance where he can scoot back enough to be out of range of his opponent and then score over the top of it. And here, Andrew Council just following around Wright, staying at the wrong distance. Wright scoring, letting him walk into everything.
Coming up, Raul Marquez puts his undefeated record on the line against bombing Skipper Kelp for the USBA version of the junior middleweight title. That is coming up after this one. A little low there was Wright. Final minute of the 11th.
Inside the final minute, and look at Council now pouring it on. Trying to steal the round. Most of the work of the early part of this round has been done by Wright. Again, Wright scoring, 1 punch by Council.
Watch the heads, says referee Al Rothenberg.
Oh, good combination by Wright.
Final seconds of the 11th.
Straight, just put it on. Come on.
Let me get some.
Breathe. All right, this round, important box, 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 okay? All right, let's go. Stay down.
A very confident-looking champion, Winky Wright, comes out for the 12th and final round. His corner has Winky way in front. Council corner very concerned, feel it is close. Sean O'Grady now has it.
I have got a very
Do you dare to say?
5-4-1. I think a great comeback has been staged by Ronald Wright.
Don't tell me you've been swayed by his corner.
The last 3 rounds, I think, have all been right. Been all right. The first round, I thought, Winky won. Who do you have ahead?
I have Winky Wright way in front. I haven't broken it down, but you know, I just counterpunch off of your scorecard.
You wait till the final scorecard.
That's right, then I'll tell you.
Okay.
Well, 1 minute gone by of this 12th and final round. It's around the 8th round. It appears as if Andrew Council ran out of gas. He has fought a 12-rounder once before, losing the USBA junior middleweight crown to Keith Holmes. Winky Wright has fought the 12 on 3 different occasions. In the world title fight against Julio Cesar Vasquez, and also his 2 NABF fights. He is the champion. This is his 2nd defense. Past the halfway mark in the final round. We'll be seeing the USBA junior middleweight championship fight coming up next. Ron Marquez and Skipper Kelp. And I don't know if that will be a chess match. That may be a slugfest that develops very early.
Well, in this fight, both fighters had a lot to lose. Neither one of them wanted to make even one mistake. I think, or it appears as though Andrew Council trained for a 10-round fight, as he ran out of gas. Although here he comes up in this 12th round, the final part of the round, inside the last minute with combinations.
Well, you would think Winky Wright, who's ranked #1 in the world, would have more to lose. But Andrew Council, if he won this fight, there's word that he might fight Lonnie Bradley for the WBO middleweight title. Go up in weight. He has fought 4 of his last 5 fights as a middle. Ref Al Rothenberg stepping in between the 2 fighters. Crowd wants to see this one end in a rush, and now Council with a 2nd win, pouring it on.
Nice finish from Council. Was it enough?
You say confidently. Well, the crowd thought they would get more.
$8.20 cabs. Low fares all over Dublin.
Dr. D, happy birthday, baby.
Well, that list may change in just a moment when we get the decision. The champ confident that he remains NABF champion and looking ahead to one of the world leaders in the junior middleweight division. Norris champ in the WBC and the IBF. Vasquez WBA champ, and Bronco McCart just won the WBO title. The concerned look on the face of Andrew Council. Some deliberation now with the cards. And we are ready for the decision. Winky Wright feels that he won this on a unanimous decision. The corner of Andrew Council had it very close. Sean O'Grady copping out and now saying it was at least a close fight but giving the edge to Winky Wright. All right, let's find out. The moment has come. Into the ring to Bruce Rader.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. The winner, Winky Wright.
All right, so the unanimous decision to Wright on the scorecards. One judge had it 118 to 109. One judge had it 116 to 111. And the other judge had it 116 to 112. And they're agreeing with the corner of Winky Wright, along with my scorecard. And Sean.
Exactly what I had. That's exactly what I was going to say.
All right.
Your scorecard.
Winky Wright takes the risk, pulls it off, is now 34 and 1, and looks ahead.
Be my friend.
820 cabs, low fares all over Dublin.